Hey there, welcome to LSea Yoga. My name is Laura, and today's practice is called A Little Yoga Goes a Long Way. It's a very short practice, but we're going to warm and stretch. So if you're ready, get on your mat, and I'll meet you there. We'll begin today in a forward fold. So step to the front of your mat, feet about hip distance apart, and bend into the knees and start to fold forward. Now your hands can come to the floor, your shins, or your feet. Knees are deeply bent here. It's more important we want a rib cage close to the thighs. Let the head get heavy and turn your tailbone up toward the sky. And let that be what lengthens the legs. Crown of the head going down, tailbone going up. And start to breathe deep. Let the backs of the legs get a little longer. The head get a little heavier. And then when you're ready, start to bend into the knees deeply so you can come on up to stand, reaching the arms out to the sides and up, reach up. And give it a little back bend here. So start to press the chest up toward the sky. Arms go a little bit behind you. And then come on back down. So folding over we go. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen the crown of the head forward, elongate the spine. And then as you exhale, step the left foot back into a lunge and bring the hands to the inside of your right foot. So scoot that foot over toward the right. We're in lizard pose. Now for this lizard pose, place your left hand to the side off the mat and reach your tented right fingertips forward. Get long here. Get a little sideways and a shoulder stretch. Stay as high or as low as it feels good. You can put that back knee down if that feels better. If this doesn't work, feel free to keep the arms straight or even put them up on a block. Just trying to get deep into the hips and that left hip flexor. Breathe and open. And then wherever you are, walk the hands back up and then step back to a downward dog. You're in an upside down V shape. Now in today's downward dog, we're going to bend the knees and press the chest and forehead toward the ground, Anahatasana. So it's heart chakra pose. Press the fingertips into the ground, hips up toward the sky. Stretch those shoulders. Deep breaths. And come to a neutral spine in a regular downward dog. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. You're back in a lizard pose on the other side. Place the right hand over toward the right off the mat, and then tent the left fingertips and reach it forward. Deep breaths into the hips. Modify as you need. This feels too intense. Breathe and open. Now walk the hands back so you're in a regular lizard pose, and then rock the hips back so you can step forward, feet about the width of the mat, toes turned out, and come on into a squat. Just open those hips a little more. Press your elbows into the knees to push them out. Hands can be reaching out in space, or maybe they're in prayer. Maybe close the eyes here. Crown of the head reaching away from the sit bones. Then place the fingertips on the ground, lift the hips and heel toe the feet in about hip distance apart. And we'll take another forward fold. So inhaling, crown of the head reaches forward, elongate the spine, and then fold it in. Knees as bent as they need to be. Might feel a little more open this time, so keep tilting those sit bones up toward the sky as the crown of the head goes towards your toes. And bending into the knees deeply, come on up to stand, reaching the arms out and up. Come all the way up, hook the thumbs this time. Press the chest up. Little back bend, press the hips forward. And then come on back to center, hands in prayer in front of the heart. Now step out with your right foot. So you're in kind of a warrior stance. We're going to take triangle. So tilt the pelvis toward the front of the mat. Reach long and place your hand on your shin, foot, or the floor. And then sweep your right arm forward, down, forward, and up. Triangle pose. So you're just kind of opening the hips. You turn up toward the sky. Front knee can be as bent as it needs to be. And you can stay there or reach the arm overhead. And a little side stretch, shoulder opening. And then bend into that front knee. Turn toward the front foot. Turn your back heel up and lower that knee to the ground. And then come on up into Anjaneyasana, reaching the arms up toward the sky, chest pressing up and away from the back toes as they press into the ground. Right hip pressing forward. Breathe and open. Zero crunching in the lower back. We're pressing the chest up, so we're aiming the curve into the upper spine. And then come to a more neutral spine, so kind of come up out of the lunge a little. Take a deep breath in here, and then rebending into the lunge, lower the right arm down, fingertips floating or on the ground, and side stretch it over toward the right. And then inhale it up, touch the palms, lower the left fingertips, side stretch to the left. And inhale it up. Press the fingertips into the ground around the front foot. Lift the hips in your impairment pose. Elongate the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. And folding. Now turn toward the right, walking the hands. So now you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Again, inhaling to get a long spine and exhaling to fold it in. Bending the knees if you need to. And as you inhale, press the fingertips into the ground, come about halfway up. Place the hands on the hips and then come all the way up. Turn your right foot out and we'll take triangle on this side. So tilt the pelvis, reach it long. Hand to the shin, the foot or the floor. Left arm goes up, turn the heart up toward the sky and look at that left thumb. And then reach the arm overhead if you want. Not required. Keep turning the heart up toward the sky. And then release that bending into the front knee, turning toward that foot. Back heel goes up and lower the knee to the ground. Coming up into Anjaneyasana on this side. Press the left hip forward this time, chest up and away from back foot. It's an ecstatic pose, so find your inner wahoo here. Wahoo! Maybe a shaka, maybe two. Deep breaths, and then come to a more neutral spine. We'll do that same side bending. So inhaling, reach it long, left hand down this time, rebending into the lunge, side bend toward the left. Inhale it up, press the palms, right hand down, side bend to the right. Inhaling both hands up, frame the front foot with your fingertips, lift the hips, pyramid pose. Inhaling, ripple the spine, get long, and exhaling, fold it in. Pressing the hip up and away from the front foot. Now this time we'll turn into that wide-legged forward fold just for a breath. Inhale here, fingertips to the ground, exhaling and fold. Inhale, halfway lift again, then turn towards your left foot, press the hands, and step it back into a downward dog. Lower the knees to the ground and walk the knees forward so you can roll over them and come into a seated position. Bottoms of the feet together, feet out to the side, inhaling the chest forward and up. And as you exhale, start to tilt forward. You can hold the feet or press the fingertips behind if you're feeling a little bit more tight today. Just leaning and letting gravity do its thing. Deep breaths. Close the eyes. Don't worry about what it looks like. Wherever you are, come on up to sit. Scoot the hips forward, roll down on your back, draw the knees in toward the chest. And then let the legs go long along the mat, feet flopping open, hands flop open, palms to the sky. Close the eyes. Shavasana. And just feel how even in that short practice, how everything feels different. And just let every muscle sink down. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. But when you're ready, start to come up to a seated position. Maybe squeezing the knees in. That feels good. Roll on up to sit. Find a comfortable seat. Backs of the hands to the knees. Thumb and forefinger touch. Close the eyes. The spine is long. "15 minutes, 10, 5 minutes of yoga, it all counts." So even if you don't have a lot of time, we move tension out of the body and find the state of mind that's always there beneath the surface. If we just dip down below the surface like a whale, and find that peaceful quiet. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed today's class and you're looking for more, join me over on LSeaYoga.com. There you're going to find lots of classes and content that doesn't exist here on YouTube. Longer classes, complete beginner series, intermediate flows, lots of content that is commercial free and exclusive to the website. So if you're ready, join me on LSeaYoga.com and I'll meet you there.